Alright everybody, it's been a while. Today I figured I should mention a really cool shell I've recently fell in love with. It's called Z shell. Now for those who don't know, Z shell is an alternative for bash, which everyone already knows. Actually, bring up the main page for bash, which is called the GNU Born Again shell, and it comes standard with every single distro basically, depending on your distro of course. But this is what you will most likely come across 99% of the time, and let's be real, bash is bloated. So you can imagine my surprise, one of my friends mentioned to me ZSH. Now I haven't really heard of it, it's been like 3 days since I've been tinkering around with it, and I fell in love with it. I customized it to my liking, and I figured I should show you my findings along with all the other things that I really enjoy about it. So, what are we talking exactly about here? So, if you go to the link in the description, you'll be able to find my configuration file for ZSH. I'm constantly updating it. I'm adding new things as I go along. I added a few changes in here quite recently to manage my system a bit better, and I don't really have to go through it over here right now, but one thing I really wanna do is explain everything, why did I decide to do it this way and stuff. So in order to open up the config or to create the file, once you install it basically, which the steps for installing can be found in the readme file right here. Then you get my config, and then you change your default shell to ZSH. Bear in mind you would have to log out most likely, and then log back in. But in my case I didn't have to do that, so back to the shell then. So to show you that I am in fact running ZSH, we're going to, here as you can see we're running ZSH version of 571, which is for Debian GNU Linux. So this is what we're running. So let me open up my ZSHRC file right here. So my ZSHRC is fairly long, as you can see. Here are a few things, but one thing I want to mention is it becomes more powerful the more you add features to it. So it's more like you have to do it yourself kind of thing. This is at the stage where I really like it. I have some custom sequences of commands here for aliases. So whenever I run free space, it executes pretty much. It executes all of these commands right here, which is really neat. The same thing applies to the make build command right here, which I can highlight if you cannot see it. The same goes for make install and DL. DL is one of my favorite ones to use because I'm constantly downloading things from the internet, and if I don't want to use my browser to download those, I can just use DL to download the said thing. I have also some custom commands to make my life a bit easier. For example, if I want to update, I can actually show you what each one of them does. So if I want to update, I just run update. It asks me for my password, so I type it in, and as you can see, it executes all the one command. I don't have to type in sudo apt update. I can just type in update. Same goes for upgrade. I can just do upgrade. It does the same thing. It executes the command. I don't have to really do anything else. I can actually show the downloading of files. So let's go to my web browser here and grab a text file or a file from my repository somewhere. So let's go ahead and grab one. I think, yeah, let's download my cheat sheet for them. Why not? It is a file. It doesn't really matter. I just figured it might be better to just get something going, you know. So we're going to go to raw, and we're going to copy this link, and we're going to paste it in, and watch what happens if I run this. It downloads it and saves the file, and says the time amount of files downloaded, what type of file, and I just have to type in DL and it does solve that automatically. So we open up the it should be somewhere. Cannot see it as of now. No, not this one. Oh yeah, it actually 27 view cheat sheet master MD. So it basically creates folders and saves them into that. So we just run this and you can see this is the cheat sheet that we downloaded, which maybe what you're after, but you know, it really depends on your kind of taste. Just remove this. Looks like I'll have to make some changes. There we go. Yeah. So in terms of the other things that are in my TSHRC, there is still a ton. For example, you can add plugins to it, which you can see in the section right here. I'm highlighting it right now. Basically, I have extensions for Docker, Git, Debian, Go, NPM, Python, the Python environment, Ruby, and VS Code, which makes working with a ton of these tools a lot faster and better for me. Docker I use for basically getting other forms of Linux to be run in my single Linux environment, which it may seem like a waste of time, but it is actually far better because you can basically toy around with different distributions without having to install, like completely wipe your drive and having to install it again, which is really nice. One really nice thing here is the enabling of colors, so I can essentially change the colors if I want. What this line essentially does is, hold on, let me just highlight it so you can know what I'm talking about. Oops, I just realized what kind of idiot I am. I don't really know exactly all the commands, but this part right here, the PS1 and all the other things with magenta, blue, green, and white and stuff, this defines the prompt. What do I mean by the prompt? By the prompt, I mean this part right here, this thing. This is your prompt. Essentially, what my prompt actually is just this part right here, and I customized it to my own liking. So basically, what you have here is the username, host name, and the directory you're in. To show you this, I'm going to switch to my, I don't know. Let's go to my where did I say put it? Oh, let's go to the XCB util xrm file right here, because I don't have anything else here I can show you. Or actually, let's go to my Python AI arts folder. So once I do that, you can see this green part has changed. One really cool thing is I can just press 2 dots. That's a part of my alias. I don't have to type in cd and let me actually go back into this. I don't actually have to type in cd and then 2 dots. I can just type in 2 dots and it does the command automatically, which is the power of aliases. It really helps a lot. One really cool thing about it is you open up my CSHRC again, you have a look at the aliases which are there. There's a bunch of other things you can do. Oh, I forgot to mention I have a custom history file now. So to explain what the history file is, we're going to go and open up the history file. So this is my custom history file, and basically what it does, it saves the state of the file. It's fairly long, so we're gonna have to move along with it a bit. There's a bunch of stuff I have executed in a long time, but yeah, this is basically, it stores information in a fairly interesting and unique way. These are just the seconds, I think. I'm not really sure. I have to still fix it, but it's cool to have some sort of timestamp. So here is the timestamp essentially, and here is and here is the command that was executed, which is really nice. Let's quit out of here. For those wondering how I managed to get these nice colors, it's actually part of a different file. It's part of my urxvt configuration, or urxvt. Again, you can just look into my repositories, you'll most likely find it there. But the one thing you have to remember is that I have customized these colors to my liking, so it's essentially, as much as I want it to be customized, this is what I'm happy with. I've been using this for a few months and I really love it. I can't like stress this enough, it's like really cool to be able to work with things. Also, ZSH is showing up over here, as you can see. So I could like enter visual mode and just like do things like, you know, move the cursor up, but it's unnecessary. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this little overview of my ZSH configuration. Let me just move to where it is. So I hope you enjoyed this little video about my configuration of ZSH. Again, the code will be, or the repositories link will be in the description. I'll be updating it with a few things that I find useful for myself, and so far I'm really liking this, and I highly recommend that you guys go ahead and try and work with ZSH instead of Bash. It really brightens up your day and you can work with a ton of stuff. So yeah, that's about it, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.